Oh yeah, hit it with my toe again. You know, feel pretty good about those toe stunts. Do them all myself. So, don't I clean up sort of nicely? Yes, yes, isn't it? Isn't it great? Um, yeah, big departure from last night, but I assure you I'm feeling all of the exact same feelings, and then some. A lot of crying, a lot of naps today. Watching Governor Polis's speech. Whew, got to me. A lot of emotions. Really wish some shit would change. But I'm shifting gears myself, speaking of change, and giving you this groovy sort of 60s background because it's the thing I could find with the most yellow in it. And I'm bringing you some serious sunshiny yellow vibes, resting my feet currently on my toilet. Yes, that's right, I'm coming to you from the baño, el baño, my bathroom, the loo, because today's poem is about endometriosis, and I figured what better place than to do it in the bathroom where all the magic happens, all the pain and disdain, terrible things I will refrain from telling you. You're welcome. Yeah, ooh, what a journey, super journey, hero's journey. Apparently, I avoid the internet a lot, as much as possible, really, because it always spirals me into some damn heinous thing that I didn't want to feel. Uh, but I kind of missed the boat. Apparently, March is Endometriosis Awareness Month, and so I wanted to take part in that. And I, of course, missed all of these great online symposiums and things that were taking place by like a day or two. They just already happened. But I do think it's great that there is, at least some buzz about it, kind of like I went off about last night. I don't think hashtags are really going to do it, much like with the gun violence. I mean, that's way worse, obviously. The progress is worse, the consequences are worse, but yeah, I don't necessarily think that awareness does it. There's a lot more that needs to be done, and it's very under-researched. Unlike erectile dysfunction, which is so researched, you could just build a mountain with the research that's been done on that. But as far as women are concerned, they throw birth control at it. Hooray! That's it. Those are kind of your only options. Lots of really painful surgeries. Suck it up. Take birth control. And as you know, if you've watched any of these videos or know me in any way, that's what almost killed my best friend. So it's really hard for me. And of course, they've tried to push a couple other options like an IUD. My uterus just so happens to be retroverted and retroflexed. Transverse. Yeah. So a lot of complexities going on there. I asked my surgeon, who is a wonderful person, like, shoot it to me straight. I try to ask her to do that. Give me the facts. If I tried to get the IUD, would it be a complicated process? And she said, yeah, I would probably have to have 4 people helping to make it work. And I've heard a lot of horror stories about IUDs. So I'm scared, pretty much scared all around. Scared of the world, scared of my own body. But hey, I made poetry about it. And the get up, the gear is symbolic in a few ways. Firstly, I just kind of was trying to make a point about like the expectation and the view of women, and it's like, well, gee, when I get my visit from Aunt Flo every month, I just heat up the hot water bottle and, try to pump the throttle a little, pull back the throttle and slow down just a bit. And I tell myself it's not as bad as you think. And then I wash my hands in the sink and start a pot roast on the stove. That sort of thing. You get it. I curled the hair. I did even the little, little dangle bobs, and even a splosh of makeup on my face, because there is really that high expectation, but it goes both ways, as many things do. Like, I miss the energy that I used to have for this kind of thing. And I really used to put so much into my get-ups and my matching and the catching of eyes from here to there. And now it's kind of a different story. But yeah, so I do miss trying, and you can't just, oh man. It was hard for me to bring you thoughts today. I gotta tell you that much. It's been really hard for me to pull it out this week. I felt something coming, whether you believe me or not. These are just things that happen in my brain where I was like, oh, something bad, something's on the horizon. Yeah, ooh, what is that? And I think to myself, is it just the endometriosis? What's eating at me? What's clawing at me from the inside is what it often feels like. But this week, it just so happened to me that it was horror and terror and really, really bad stuff coming down the pike. So I'm struggling to be even a tiny bit coherent or with it. But I didn't want to miss out on this one. I do feel like it's really super important to me, obviously, as an endometriosis sufferer. Sometimes that word is easy to say, sometimes real hard. And just continuing to make sure people know what the heck it is. Because like I've said before, I've been in whole ass groups of women where none of them have ever heard of it. And I'm like, really? Are you sure? Probably some of you have it. I don't know. That's not even me being negative. That's just statistical kind of inevitability with a group of women. Unfortunately, it's a lot more rampant than people think it is. And it's sort of confusing in that, like, you can have a ton of it and feel nothing, or you can have a little tiny bit of it and feel excruciating pain, or somewhere in the middle. I mean, it's just any crossover of that. And what's so crazy about missing these, like, online kind of meetings and conferences that I've somehow missed just by a few days, I probably wouldn't have been able to handle it anyway. I'm going to be real honest, because it's like I subscribe to these newsletters and these get our monthly update on the latest in endometriosis news, and I try to read through them, and I'm telling you, it's so brutal. It's so brutal to me. My endo was described as severe, and I read about women that have it so much worse, and the symptoms that I deal with are very frustrating, very debilitating. And again, I read about women where it's like, who leaves me in the dust with what I'm up against and makes it seem like small pain potatoes. Just giving you a little, like, lighthearted show and tell just because I feel like it. This seemed to match my get-up, but this is one of my treasures because I'm lower middle class, okay? I don't give a fuck. So I'm not trying to impress anyone, all Martha Stew. Pinch the cheeks, make sure that the napkins match the plates. It's also fake. Women are expected to put on such a face, but hey, this is one of my treasures, and I made it, and it's one of those, toilet paper dolls, but it's also kind of like Sleepy Hollow. A little bit of every day is Halloween, and like her eyes open and close, and it's real creepy. And we like to keep on creeping on around here. At least I do. Other props that are just yellow, and so I brought them along. That's it. They're just yellow. This yellow ducky, and I thought this was really funny. I pulled it from my shelf at the last second because it's so freaking fitting. Gardening, yoga, bubble baths. See, bubble baths, it did fit. The prop did fit, and I didn't even know it. Gardening, yoga, bubble baths, medication, and I still want to smack somebody. I don't know, I just thought that was really funny. It was a card someone gave me, and that's just that feminine ideology. She's just, what crippling menstrual cramps? Bubble baths. That's my solution to everything. That and making cookies. you know, you know. If you've seen any TV show or movie ever, then you know what the expectations of women are. And then I have a little itty bitty rubber ducky. But I mean, baths do help somewhat, but not like on the level that people expect or want them to. Duck down. It's okay, I'm gonna get it later. And I brought this yellow apple just because, you know, I've written whole entire poems about Eve and that whole totally false narrative that women are somehow to blame for everything, as though Adam wasn't there going, bite it, bite it, bite it, I dare you. Ooh, you should bite it. Ooh, I like how you bite it like that. Like, come on, yeah, right, of course he was. But I don't know, I just think it's so funny, that whole narrative, and that an apple is round and it smells so golden and sweet. Who could possibly resist biting it? I'm going to, because I want to save this apple for tomorrow. But you know what I'm saying. I just thought this beautiful golden apple kind of fit the yellow thing. Who says no to temptation? Really? Yeah, I wish I could feel that lusty snake dance, that slither. That's all part of it. Just the withering of parts of you that you never thought would ache like that or be taken from you like that. It's been an extremely life-altering experience to lose an ovary and a fallopian tube and have my sex drive stripped away and have my hormones go on an insane ride and have painful intercourse and be grumpy all the time. And yeah, it's not great. It's not great. There are lessons in it. There is poetry in it. There is growth in it, I hope. Still trying to find it. But I brought these as a physical representation as well. These are from all of my birth control pills, which I have to give myself like a mantra every time I take them. Because like I said, I'm scared shitless. They almost killed my best friend. But I have to, they've given me no other options, right? Like bad, shittier, and complete shit, awful options. So I chose somewhere sort of kind of in the middle that still scares me a lot. Yeah. But these are, I want to make some kind of art out of it, but these are from all my birth control pills, and it's all just like Monday through Friday, and it just feels like this total representation of time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And these also representative of that. These are like the boxes that they come in. Oh yeah, love it. Can I just drop that cool one I wanted to show you? Oh well, yeah. So, this is the one I keep by my bedside, and I like to put stickers on it just to make it seem somewhat less horrible. Even though it's like stripped away one of my favorite ways to feel. But I just put a little sticker on it that says, "You got this," on like a sports flag or whatever. You got this, even if it doesn't feel that way. And like an achievement ribbon that says, "Did some things." Sometimes I just gotta give myself credit for something, you know. And then like fruit, balloons, whatever. But I started putting kind of like stickers, like this one says, "Girl power, we yeah." Started putting stickers on these, and so one time it was sweet. I went into the King Soopers pharmacy. Hard to talk about King Soopers right now. It sounds weird, but like it's one of my holy places. Like I befriend all the people that work at my local King Soopers. It's like I've hit on many of the people that work there throughout the years. I try to give kindness to those people. It's always been meaningful to me, like way long before COVID. So it's just so not good in my guts right now, the sad feelings. But yeah, I had a lot of meaningful experiences at my local King Soopers. And when I went in to get my prescriptions once, there was like some issue, and so I was just making small talk with the girl, and I told her about how I put stickers on some of my birth control boxes because it makes me feel like a little tiny bit lighter about the endo and the pain and the terror of it. And so she gave me a whole bunch of stickers. She was like, I've got some stickers laying around here somewhere, and believe it or not, that's some of the best empathy I had had in a while, because people tend to be very narrow vision about it and just like, oh yeah, cramps, I've heard of those. You should take some leave. Whatever. They don't get it. Bless them. Goodness bless them. They just really don't get it, and it's okay. I understand. But yeah, I hold on to these because I keep telling myself that I'm gonna make some kind of artwork out of it. But it just seems so representative. Like, one of these days I'm gonna make it something beautiful. I just was doing some research on the internet to like write my poem and add things to my poem, and somebody's tagline for their endometriosis website was, "There's nothing pretty about endometriosis," and I thought, it's kind of a weird tagline. I mean, well, how about the women suffering from it? Like, I get what they're saying. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's horrible. It's hideous. But I don't know. Just kind of didn't work for me, I guess. But I did do some research on, like, why yellow is the color. And it was this woman, Mary Lou Ballweg, who was doing a bunch of research in the 80s. And so she sent out pamphlets, like, all over the world to these clinics because people were just being very ignorant about it. And, like, that doesn't need research. It's just women's stuff. And she kind of got the ball rolling, and for whatever reason she chose yellow as her pamphlet color, so that just kind of stuck. I was looking through like my old paperwork about it too, and it's scary, it's weird, but somehow like reading about it in those super like medical terms makes it more like fictional. Is that weird? Just, I don't know, it like helps disassociate me from it or something. Like, I don't know. Right adnexal lesion demonstrates imaging characteristics. It is poetry. It's so hard to read. Right adnexal lesion demonstrates imaging characteristics of endometrioma, which correlates with patient's menstrual history. Her history of painful dysmenorrhea. Additional deposits of endometriosis throughout the pelvis is also possible, especially given the free fluid in the cul-de-sac. You'll learn what that is. Yummy, right? The free fluid in the cul-de-sac. In addition, thickening of the wall of the lesion is most likely adjacent ovarian tissue, while malignant transformation is unlikely given this age group and size of this lesion. Surgical consultation is advised. Can't believe that's the way these people speak every single day. It's crazy. It's a crazy way to speak all the time. Where'd my other thingy go? Oh, darn it. Sarn it. Oh, I just thought this was an interesting representation too. I find it weirdly meditative to pull off the little like sticky boogers on all these pamphlets and like play with them. Is that weird? I don't know. Just small comforts. I have so many. I mean, I have hundreds of these. It's bizarre. But I thought this was very representative too, because people really brush it off. And they're like, oh yeah, birth control, and they're so casual about it, and it's so serious. Like, here, do some light reading about what the fuck you're putting in your body. How about it? Yeah, a whole lot. So, we'll get on with it. It's been a really hard day. I've been sleeping on and off most of the day, to be really honest, just to like avoid myself and avoid my thoughts and avoid feeling anything. And I do that sometimes. I'll just stare at a point in the wall, or I will fall asleep because I don't know what else to do. And it seems like there's nothing I can choose that's going to be right or help or work. So anyway, don't let the makeup fool you, for goodness sake. I was just trying to give a little beauty to the spokeswoman thing about all this. And that's the thing, is it's hard to make a difference. It's hard to get 50 subscribers on your freaking channel when you've got 1,000 1,600 people who call themselves your friends. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. Getting any message out is hard. And I even tried to start a support group, like way pre-pandemic, when I was real deep in the like denial and inability to accept that this was happening to my body. I kind of stumbled upon a few women who not only had endometriosis but had also lost one or the other ovary. And so I tried to start this support group, and I was really on it. I was like doing the emails. I came up with a clever title for my group, and I was researching. Talking is so hard when you've just been crying for days. Researching. I was just looking up all the stuff and trying to make it creative and trying to make it not just, ratcheting like medical information uncomfortable, but like friendship, women, kinship, let's come together in some way. And I was really missing that shit way before the pandy struck. Way before. I was like, does anyone gather? Does anyone feel stuff in the same room together? And man, if I thought I missed it before. But yeah, it just didn't. I put so much elbow grease into it, and nobody followed through, and people just didn't email me back or text me back or call me back or anything. So it was very frustrating, because I do feel like I need more support than I have, and I do feel like I've met a handful of women who have it, but even they kind of disappear, I guess, into the same like foggy clouds of pain and anger at the world that I fall into. But I'm just trying to be like, hey, can we talk about that together? Because I'm there too. And I don't know. It's a weird thing. But yeah, going back to the like articles and stuff. Oh, you just scan some of the information in a couple of the stories, and it's like, whoa. It's just another thing that kind of makes me want to put the blanket over my head, if I'm being real honest. But yeah, taking these little tablets is the only hope I've been given of preserving my eggs to possibly be able to have a child, although that has taken on like all new meaning and fear and moral conundrums for me. And yeah, it's hard, because when there's women all around you just having babies and having their second baby and having their third baby and more babies and all the babies, they don't seem to be able to meet you on that level of like that pain and that longing, and that may not be possible for me. And it's like, oh, but I'm having a baby and my baby's a girl and it's a thing and I'm having a party about it. And I don't know, it's just like this example of what's happening right now. People can sort of give that glossy, like, well, my thoughts are with you sort of thing, but to meet you there and be like, and it's not that hard. It's not that hard to just look somebody in the eyes and be like, I can't imagine what that feels like. That must be really hard for you. That's all it takes. It's pretty fucking simple, actually. But it's odd how people don't seem to be able to like set aside what they've got going on and be like, oh, yeah, kind of whatever. It sounds so cliche, but put their feet in your shoes for 5 seconds. Be like, oh, that's very uncomfortable. That must really hurt. I don't get a whole lot of that. From a few key people, from a few key mermaids and princesses and lovely, beautiful goddess types out there. I do. I mean, I'm lucky in that way. But anyway, so if you know someone suffering with this, and I guess, trigger warning, I'm talking about pain and shit that's real in the body and endometriosis. All you have to do is pause this real quick and Google it, and it's not a fun thing. It's not a fun time. But yeah, if you know someone struggling with this, just give them a little, like, that must be really hard for you, and I'm sorry. And then you're done. It's like, mission accomplished, you know? We're not looking for you to, like, come up with a cure. That would be cool if you think of something, but it's not, we're not asking for anything so bold as that. Just the color yellow, light, shine some light, give a little light. It's pretty simple. So I will give my poem that I just wrote today, because I didn't want to let the days are just going by very furiously and curiouser and curiouserly around here, and time just seems to be this like almost mean, fleeting thing. Like, bully, you're being a bully, time. Just running away. So I didn't want March to go by without giving this shout out and this acknowledgement to this thing that has affected me a whole heck of a lot. So, yes, happy March, mournful March, sad March, painful March, mad March, crazy, lots of things that March is. But keep marching. I don't know. That sounds cliche, but I mean it in like a genuine way. Like, it's laborious and difficult, and requires that you be a bit of a soldier about of it. Sure, about of it. Why not? I can't talk. It's fine. Too many emotions. So again, don't let the makeup and the curls fool you. I was just trying to make a point about women and the facades that we show the rest of the world when we kind of want to hurl. You know. But so here we go. Hard to know how to sit when you're in your bathroom, propped up in front of your shower. It's kind of a weird setting, but I like it. It fits. So I called today's poem Endo a Whole Lot. So, I did kind of like a play on words, because people call it endo for short. And like, it's the end of endo a whole lot. So fitting that the source has the root end in it, because a lot does end. Before all this internal loss, I don't even think I appreciated or could comprehend what my body was, when the fuzz on a peach or a slight breeze could make me all the way horny. Now I need some sort of full-blown orchestra, Broadway production just to get me warmed up. This inner storm sucks. Like it's always a tornado without the possibility of going to Oz. I guess I should have felt great relief by knowing the cause of all that pain, making every straw the last straw, while flapping jaws told me how very dramatic I was being. Yes, I was seeking applause with all that bent-over suffering. You're right. Thanks for buffering the crowd by rolling your eyes at my big, loud circus act. Yeah, it wasn't a big deal, just my entire fucking insides under attack. There were days I'd have a little broth, a little sip of broth, and go cry out back. But if I got caught, you'd bet I'd be given flack for it. You can ensure it doesn't faze folks much, even when you clutch your abdomen like torture clay and try to knead it like it's bread. And they'll just say, that pain you're trying desperately to work out is all in your head. So get back to work. Don't pout. People just guess at what something's about if it doesn't pertain to them. They absolutely refrain from seeking the truth to better understand you. That would take too much time to do. Even other women like to call each other sisters until there's some info that grips her in a way that feels too heavy. Then they're suddenly not so steady to stand with. They preach a lot about uplifting one another, but the thought of something unpleasant they personally aren't currently experiencing kind of smothers all that female empowerment fireside thing. I remember in the beginning, I felt like I was held up by my lady peeps. But then that strange separation seeps in, and they seem more concerned what their men think. And if your pain sinks their easy float even a little, they whittle it down. Like, well, we're all on our own journey. Or often they turn away. Better than most men who have not much to say other than, ew, what the fuck else is new? Not mine, though. He held me through the whole ordeal, and he still does when I sob and feel guilty, like I'm letting him down, when I feel like the rising tides of those impossible-to-describe pains are drowning me. Sometimes it's like wolves surrounding me from within, Some people ask me what it's like, and I don't even know where to begin. Sometimes it's sharp, like intestinal shark teeth. That kind is hard to find relief from. Sometimes it's a gut drum, but not in a fun way, where the pounding gives way to a parade over your organs with a bunch of hooligans wearing cleats. There's no defeating their reckless spree sometimes. There's just all kinds of layers to it. Key, mean players plotting to twist and punish parts of you that you used to enjoy. Fucking stomping, clomping militias deployed in there to cause a lack of interest in all human outings and general despair. I used to care about looking cute and matching. Now I can't wear anything with latching or zipping or any such apparatus. Just stretchy. Oh! You guys, my thing went out of order. Just stretchy. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this. I'm so mad, you guys. Just stretchy. Oh, this is such a bummer. Oh, it's such a bummer. I don't know if the other part printed. This is pissing me off so much. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. I'm panicking. I don't know how to do this. I don't want to make it harder for myself. Damn. I'm so frustrated. You guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, well, I'm pretty upset. I guess what I'm gonna do... This is how everything has been going. I'm gonna check real quick just to make sure that the page isn't there. It would be page 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gonna double check real quick, and if it's not there, I guess I'm just gonna like cut and paste what's missing from the poem in the fucking comments, because I'm tired, guys. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to do this whole thing over again. You know me and my one take. Just hold on. Stay with me. Yeah, so a little bit of luck, not really, pretty pissed off. My printer's doing weird things because, like, what robot thing is communicate, or what robot thing is cooperating? That's the word. What robot thing is cooperating with us these days? None. And I'm so mad. It's just like, every page of my thing, really, except for one page, and I had to print this multiple times, and I'm pissed. Now the whole flow of the poem is off, and it's okay. I'm doing it every single day, so you can't get mad, and I'm upset. It's just like, how fucking strange. One page causes me great rage. So I found a little bit of it because it just kept stopping, like the printer kept stopping randomly, so I had to reprint it several times, and I thought this was the right thing. We got a little bit of this fourth page, but not all of it, so I'll just have to, I guess, copy and paste the part that's missing in the comments, because I am not willing to do this all over again, nor do the editing. I'm far too exhausted. So you'll just have to if you really care to read it, it'll be there. But I'm so sad to like not give you the whole thing because one fucking page, you know, it just hurts my heart. It's just the way things kind of are these days. So, yeah, I used to care a lot about looking cute and matching. Now I can't wear anything with latching or zipping or any such apparatus. Just stretchy waist pants, no fuss. Because there's none of that elegant chemical left in me. It's deceptively swift in its malevolent cleaning up shop of all that you thought you'd hold inside forever. Some terrible lever is suddenly yanked, and some clever, horrible, purple substance that loves life-ruining pranks just makes all your blank. Just makes all your blank. It's so fitting that this thing, this terrible, freaking, awful, misunderstood thing called endometriosis, the poem I write about it, is of course just gonna fuck with me. So, more clever thoughts, place here. I will put them in the comments, or in the, not in the comments, in the, my brain, you guys. I will put the missing piece in the description, okay? So, more clever stuff, and it all rhymes together, and now it's totally awkward because it skips to, now it's more aggravating than any non-endo sufferer can know. And they barely try to show empathy. Just, oh, that really sucks your tank feels empty, and hey, good luck with that, when it feels they're really saying, well, hell, glad I don't have to fuck with that. But I'm stuck with it for good or bad. Most women on this scary spectrum may ebb and flow with it, but it doesn't go away. I run out of ways to say to people who doubt it, yeah, actually it does hurt every single day. Don't feel playful, don't feel cute. Have to learn things like salpingectomy, surgery to remove one or both fallopian tubes. Ain't that fun? Or, hey, did you know the area between the womb and the rectum is called pouch of Douglas? Or, this one sounds cute, but not when they describe cauterizing it. The cul-de-sac. No, it's not a quaint neighborhood, but the area between the womb and the rectum. Like, here you go, hun, your whole new vocab list, such as gonadotropins, hormones controlling ovary functionality. The oh-so-pleasant oophorectomy, removal of either or both ovaries. And reserved mostly for the chickaditas, dyspareunia, or painful intercourse. Of course, yeah, because it doesn't suck enough to have digestion, walking, lifting, bending, and existing be tough. You gotta throw in uncomfortable, hard to talk about issues with the outer and inner muff. Fascinating stuff. In a clamshell, it's rough. And folks roll their eyes when I can't keep up. Sometimes I feel this anger that wants to erupt. Why did my entire being have to be corrupted by this alien scar tissue, fusing, confusing purple shit? It's purple. And the psychology of it is a giant pit, and I can't even shake a vague, descriptive stick at it. I grit my teeth and let people make their assumptions. I can barely function, and they want to hand me some Midol. All these societal avoidance tactics, coming at me with their minimal Googling didactics. Wish I could refract light to shine it on all the shit they get wrong. And I didn't have to spend so long explaining it and refraining from being real all the while. I just give a fake smile and say, yes, it's at least good to know. And they nod, and my resentment grows. Some days my toes are the only things I can focus on because they feel sort of okay. I try to ignore my inner peace being waylaid by jackhammers clamoring any calm inside. And I try to look normal while I want to cry and writhe. I divide the various pains into imaginary rooms and try to address them one by one with proverbial brooms and mops and lovely curtains. I think it makes some difference, all this upkeep and decorating and sweeping. but I'm never certain. 'Cause even with all that care and pride and decor, it's a world of hurtin'. I dare not go blurtin' out how I really feel. Like an acting teacher told me if he thought we were over-explaining, don't make a meal of it. I even have bizarre pains in my left tit since the surgery. Who knows? It certainly stirred up some urgency to find more fun in life. But even that feels like a fight. I never thought it would seem so unreachable to skip or giggle or fly a gosh dang kite. Can't remember the last time my entire infrastructure didn't feel heavy and cramped and wounded and wound tight. It takes all my might to stop thinking about it for 5 minutes. It's absolutely tested all my limits. I get these endometriosis newsletters and articles, and every one of them, it's like just trying to skim it. I feel totally overwhelmed with how much fucking worse this thing can be. Like, who's at the helm to make these women suffer so greatly? I'm innately programmed to feel for all of them at once. These women carrying around this burden. It's like doing stunts with no training. It's more than tiring, it's utterly draining. I swear my temple used to be like a beautiful field with a hammock and butterflies with a mystic sunset while it's raining. Now it's like a painting that stays behind a curtain in a room containing spikes and splinters on all the floorboards, so the beautiful parts are forced to be ignored because letting in the light seems too great a risk. That frolicking, confident dance she used to do is just one of so many things I miss. Back when my body understood how to generate bliss, before vital things got torn out and the stability went amiss. I think of my feminine treasures now and cannot help but clench my fists. I try giving them gifts like baths, chocolate, massage, gentle hopes and wishes, delicious dreams I try to beam inward, and despite all my pretty words, oftentimes it's like all my tender nerves decided to revolt and hit all my sensitive spots with endo thunderbolts. I consult with doctors who tell me there's little one can do. I rely heavy on my heating pad, and the pain is such a total drag. It obscures my view of what's possible out there. I used to dare to dream so vastly. Now the ache just gives me ghastly fears. It grinds my fucking gears until they're all screeching. I like to think it's teaching me something that will all make sense someday. I wish I could run away from how it feels, but it's woven in me. And they tried to go through my belly button and peel it off my soft insides. And I told everyone around me I was doing fine. But I lied. And I sometimes lie about it still. Maybe to appease others. Maybe to will it away. So there you go. There's that one. Oh boy, guys, I'm telling you, feel a lot of weight. I think it's day 82. Might be day 83. What was it? I think it's day 83. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be frank, to be honest. We're a little fumbly on this one. Doesn't matter. I humbly tell you I'm rather fumbly, and it's fine. It's just the inner workings of my mind. No big deal. It's just me peeling out the very essence of teal and trying to give it to you on a daily basis. You try it. It's tough. So I'm really upset. I'm upset that just one page of this didn't print. And I was like, well, here it is, ready to go. And I'm trying to get the thing, and I put the and plugs and the light and the woo, and put this over the freaking shower curtain. And I should have known for certain that some wonky, janky thing would put a wrench in it. Because that's just kind of how things feel lately. But it's okay. You forgive me. Whatever. I brought props. I brought the representation of temptation. The representation of temptation. I curled my freaking hair. So, listener beware. This one had a whole page left out, but I will put it in the description, the part that's missing, and we'll just move on. We'll move along with it. We'll go on to the next day and the next, and I'm working up to something really special for day 100, I hope, I think. A little collab, a little music that was made from my day 1 poetry. So look forward to that, and who knows what the rest will be, and what sights we'll see. Just keep trying to bring you pieces of me, and thanks for joining me, if you are, and if you do. And tell your friends, hey, there's this girl, and she doesn't do the same stuff other people are doing on YouTube. She just does these really long, heartfelt poems and tells you parts of her soul that most people probably wouldn't be willing to share about themselves. People love those, like, unpackaging videos. I'm unpackaging shit that I somehow managed to afford. I'm unpackaging my soul for you here, people. I'm unpackaging the very depths of who I am and what I've been through. So, check that shit out. Heels up and shout now. So yeah, low battery warning, of course. The phone's just being a buggerole. So we'll say goodnight. Thank you one and all for joining me, and do it again tomorrow with more poetry. Hold and hug someone who's close to you if they're dealing with this, or if they're dealing just with the pain of the world right now, or just, I don't know, whoever's in your bubble. Make sure that they don't forget what hugging feels like. I feel like I need the Hubble Space Telescope to like see human connection anymore these days. But just, yeah, love on your bubble, and remind them, not just those hugs that are like, but those hugs that are like, I'm here, I'm giving you something. It's here, feel it. So thank you for being here with me, and give kindness to each other, and give kindness to yourself, and find ways to give love to your health, like a temptation a day, that kind of thing. And just know that I'm sitting here in my awkward human way with love for you. Okay? So, yeah, do a little research, do some minimal research for endometriosis month, and maybe you'll learn something, and maybe you'll be able to help someone who's having a really hard time. And that would be nice. Okay, so signing off for now in my cool, groovy, actual 1960s yellow dress. The world feels like a mess right now, but just try to contribute some love to it. And I think that matters. I think that means something. So, thank you for being here. Good night.